Well, either way, we do see the defense setting up now. They are actually using a Reinhardt this time around, Winghaven on Reinhardt, while Kruise, who was playing Lucio previously, is going to be on the Symmetra. They do not have... Oh, actually, they do still have a healer, Morte, on that Zenyatta, and Morte is a character, or sorry, a player that sticks to Zenyatta. Even though Zenyatta did receive a little bit of a nerf, Morte has been one of the players to stick with it, and he's actually really, really good at staying in the far back line while still staying in line of sight. Numbani is a good map for Zenyatta specifically to be able to do that just with all these ledges around, and he can stay up on a nice safe ledge far away from the action and still keep line of sight on all his teammates. The attacking team, Gringos, moving through what looks like the lower entry here. Sometimes I think my friends and I have been calling it aisle 3 just because there's no other easy name for it, and you can say clean up on aisle 3 if lots of people are coming through there and you need to get in and take them out. There's a nice bounce. Wow, did that McCree just go flying? That was very interesting.
Yeah, and Liddano also found a really nice perch for Widowmaker as well, but immediately getting spotted by TwoEasy. And once again, we seem to have a little bit of a Tracer fest here as TwoEasy is going on a rampage. I believe that's now 4 eliminations and counting, and he is not stopping at all. This is incredibly good stuff from him here.
All right, well, I'll have to watch some more Tracer. I actually took Mort's POV on that one just because I was talking about the Zenyatta, and he did a good job staying alive during that assault again. But now TwoEasy does have his Pulse Bomb available. He's going to toss it off immediately and actually score a free kill onto Soldier. Good stuff there from TwoEasy.
Very, very good. And he just hasn't stopped moving since the map has started. He's now on 5 eliminations without response. Gringos are, though, grouping up again. They're thinking about coming through the side. They see the amount of fire coming through the corridor, and I think that prompts them to change their plan. Prowler is in the back, though. He really needs to be in front of these guys, shielding for them so he can move forward. So I'm not sure what his plan is, hanging around in the back on Reinhardt, but I think he looks satisfied enough now that he's able to push forward with the rest of the team. And now Reunited, of course, know that they're coming.
Okay, and TwoEasy still on the defensive Tracer, was just trying to take out the offensive Tracer for as long as he could. Now he's got a much bigger mission, and that is to go take out Liddano on a Widowmaker. He does get him to about half health, but the rest of the team, Gringos, have actually moved on to the point and seem to be capping it pretty handily there without TwoEasy's DPS there. It looks like they had enough HP and damage output to take control of point A here.
Yeah, that was really, really well done. I think TwoEasy was still getting kills, but Gringos were sort of at a point where they went, okay, the more split up we are, the more easy it is for TwoEasy to sort of move in from behind and kind of mess with our heads a little bit. So let's just stick together and cap the point. And ultimately, you can't just stick around on the point with a Tracer, so TwoEasy was probably asked by the rest of the team, okay, let's pull back, let's defend this at the next point. We've stalled for quite a while, we know where they're good, it's going to be fine. And they're actually moving all the way back here. Notice how at the moment the payload is moving basically without much in the way of opposition whatsoever. Vallutaja giving him a little bit of grief, but nowhere near enough for the team to be panicking.
Haha, TwoEasy. I'm not sure what happened there to make him
Ooh,
make that face, but looks like we do have some kills going off left and right. Shades all the way in the back as Hanzo. The payload's actually in a good spot right now for the defense to try to defend against this. You usually do give them a little bit of cushion coming off of point A just because their respawn is so close and yours is so far away that if you can give them a little bit of cushion and then just contest with your Tracers, for example, bouncing in and out, you can end up eating a lot of clock that way and still get into battle quickly enough if you do get taken out. Liddano.
Oh, and here comes Vallutaja. There's the Pulse Bomb, taking out Joe right away. Not quite able to get any of the teammates, even though 3 or 4 of them were quite clumped up there, but a very, very nice move. And who else had... Oh, we've got Denzje actually on the other team with another Pulse Bomb available as well. But Reunited aren't actually that clumped up right now.
It looks like TwoEasy on defense, just on Widow alone, is doing a good job keeping everyone kind of pinned back into their spawn. TwoEasy just kind of swapping his view back and forth between the street and the gift shop. Now he's going to jump up on the statue, try and get some free picks at the spawn. There he does see the enemy sniper immediately. Taking a few shots, but actually hitting the statue itself. Now he's shooting the statue. What? Okay. I guess he was
That's
not...
ultimate frustration. He initially zoomed out rather, just as the opposing Widowmaker came into view as well. A little bit unfortunate in terms of the time, but TwoEasy will have another shot, and he does manage to take out Denzje on Tracer. Going for shot number 2, fails to take out Lucio, and now we have Winghaven making sure that TwoEasy doesn't have too much of a difficult drop off on the left-hand side.
Yeah, TwoEasy trying to go for these trick shots. now. After kind of goofing on the statue there, he went for another one of those leap into the air and try and score a kill on the fall back down to earth. And those can be very tough, especially when you don't have your soft tracer to shoot at. He already killed him. So basically, yeah, defense reunited, just keeping Gringos kind of in their spawn at the moment. This can easily be broken if a couple of character swaps happen and they're unexpected. Winston and Genji coming out now for the offense, for example, could be enough to actually get this payload moving again. Winston does a good job against the tracers, just staying alive, hopping around, dropping that shield for his teammates. And currently, though, no one's really contesting the payload. I think the sniper, TwoEasy, is actually one of their biggest problems right now that they've got to try and deal with, and they've swapped off of their own Widow to try and do it. Oh no, Liddano is still on sniper. He just needs to find TwoEasy at some point.
Yeah, TwoEasy whiffing a couple of shots right now. I'd like to see him do some of those trick shots. I think it's probably harder to hit someone on the way up than it is on the way down. But
yeah.
Maybe he'll show us that as well. Now, the contesting sort of corner here as they move around. Nice little bubble there from Winston. Prowler now switching it up, trying to see if he can push his team a little bit further towards the payload. They're paying it a little more attention now. He's in a room with Tracer, and that's never a good idea if you're the Tracer. So she gets out of there very, very quickly indeed. Prowler still doing a good job tanking, but he eventually falls. We now have Genji. Well, he's not going to be able to push that by himself, and he gets taken down very quickly indeed.
Yeah, he gets surrounded as well. Vallutaja with 3 kills there in the kill cam, just getting finishing blows left and right as they made that last push. It's very interesting to me still, just going from phase 1, you know, a few months ago now to seeing these games with all the tracers. It used to just be very tank heavy. You would have a Reinhardt and a Roadhog. You would have double Winston like we see now, and they've kind of fallen out of favor since the buff comp came into play. Protect the Tracer essentially with Symmetra shields and Zen Harmony orbs took over the meta for so long, and we're still seeing traces of that. But now we've got Winston actually on both sides here, probably trying to knock people away while Shade's back at the payload, tries to zap down Lucio. They do finally dislodge this cart for the first time in several minutes after making that switch, and it looks like 4 members of Reunited all got taken out there during that push.
Yeah, I have to say I'm actually quite liking the old school composition a little bit more in this situation. Liddano, for that push, by the way, did switch up to Reaper, and then he switched off and came back on, I believe, to Soldier 76. So he was Reapering it up, benefiting from somebody else's heal on a 76 as Reaper, and then as soon as we had Reunited off of the payload, good Transcendence there, keeping the payload moving as well. But unfortunately, that gets taken out, and that's going to force Gringos back just a little bit. So Reunited switching their play up a little bit as well, come barreling straight down the middle, and managed to push Gringos off. But I do like that Gringo switch up in the composition there. That's got them moving a lot, Joshy.
Yeah, it finally got them dislodged from their own spawn. Now they've just barely got them. Yep, they do meet the checkpoint with only about 20 seconds left on the clock. Now they've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds to try and finish the map. And again, with these competitive play rule sets, all that matters is actually finishing the map. Whether they can or cannot do it is all that we're really paying attention to here. So they've got 2 minutes. Reunited needs to reassess. It looks like they are not really getting any switches. Looks like TwoEasy is going to stick to Widowmaker. You've got the 2 Tracers, Unfixed and Vallutaja. They are still getting their Symmetra shields, so everyone's got a little bit of an HP buffer. There is a Winston with very, very low health. Shades finally does go down there, but they are still pushing that payload, and this could be it if Reunited can't get a handle on this payload soon.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice, a very patient play there. Just waiting, basically, Mint, for a good opportunity to use his sound barrier, and picks a very nice time. Vallutaja now continuously trying to harass the people around the payload, but not necessarily contesting the payload that much himself. Unfixed coming in to help out, though, and with his help, that could be a little bit of trouble. Defensive now. Sound barrier coming down. Reunited are going to try and retake this with that extra hit points. Picks off all the Winstons, and that actually gives them control of the payload once again. So 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining for Gringos to make this happen.
Yeah, defense benefited hugely there from a Symmetra teleporter just to the right of the payload, and they actually all came streaming out there without any opposition there. And TwoEasy switching off of Widow onto McCree is a good choice here for the last point. McCree himself can actually flashbang and clear the payload itself a lot easier than Widowmaker can. And Unfixed on Reaper now rather than Tracer. So Reaper can contest with Wraithwalk, and not to mention just sink tons of damage into those double Winstons. You can also catch a Tracer with 2 2 medium to close range shots and actually kill her as Reaper if you get enough headshot pellets. So good choice here, I think, for Unfixed to stay on that Reaper as long as possible. As long as there's 2 Tracers and 2 Winstons, I think it's a great choice.
And I mean, all he has to do is get close enough, and Numbani is a map where you can actually sneak around and get that close. I'm not sure he can take on 2 Winstons at once, though. He is going to have to back out of there, but he managed to do a lot of damage with those first couple of shotgun shots, like you mentioned, Joshy. And now we have Tranquility coming down from Morte as well, really pushing them back onto the pale to try and contest this as long as possible. Only Shadez is dead at the moment, though, for Gringos. The other guy's still fighting very hard on Fix, almost going down on Reaper, but he has got his ultimate available. Is he going to use it? He's very, very low. He manages to get healed back up. It doesn't look like he's going to have to. And as a result, Gringos, for the second map in a row, will not be able to complete the objective.
Yeah, they made a much better effort this time around than on Route 66, but still falling just a bit short. And Reunited will have their opportunity to attack on the other side. Here's Play the Game from Winghaven, mostly just zapping folks. Zapping Discord targets specifically is always nice. Oh my god, he's spazzing out.
Respect the Void Rays, man.
Numbani, home of the Protoss.
I know. That was... It's always surprising to me just how much damage Symmetra can do. I suppose, like a lot of the support heroes, you pick Lucio, for example, and the first time you play him, you don't think, oh wow, this guy can, you know... It doesn't give off the essence of power quite the same way as, like, Widowmaker or Pharah or Soldier 76, but... You land a couple of shots with Lucio, you keep targeting on someone with Symmetra. Damage, I believe, does increase over time in that Ray as well.
Yes.
And she can do an awful lot of damage, man. It's deceptive. The only trick is you have to be able to track your opponents very well. So you need really good reaction times to sort of move left and right and follow your opponent with your beam. As long as you can do that, Symmetra can do so much damage.
It's true, and if you're good at running circles around your opponents, they basically lose track of you. D.Va, for example, has a fixed turn time while she's shooting, so you can just run circles around D.Vas, Winstons, Zaryas. As long as you're beaming them and they're not beaming you, you're going to win that fight as Symmetra. So it's actually, she's a lot of fun to play, and actually one of my higher win rate characters, not just because her kit is so complete, but I like to play aggressive Symmetra and run up at people. I place, you know, one or two sentry turrets by a doorway I know they're going to go through. Don't try to kill them with the sentry turrets, just get them slowed. As long as they're being slowed by your turrets, you're the main threat. You're running circles around them and zapping them to death. And it can be a lot of fun on maps like Anubis and Volskaya specifically, where they have to come in through certain areas.
And I think... But basically, if you've just started to play the game and you really enjoy playing Tracer and you like running circles around people as Tracer, treat Symmetra as level 2. Because if you're able to do that and you really like playing like that, then Symmetra is definitely complementary to your playstyle. We see at the moment Gringos now on the defense taking their anger out on Railings, who are public enemy #1 as far as Overwatch are concerned. Those are all going to get taken out, though, near where they're defending, and you can see they're giving Reunited a lot of room here, like a serious amount of room.
Yeah, they're just playing the point. Again, this is just it kind of boils down to the attacker's spawn is really close, our spawn is not very close. Might as well play the point itself, especially when you've got the benefit of Symmetra orbs, for example. They have to come into the area where these turrets are, and Symmetra has a much easier time shooting down onto a point rather than, you know, down a hallway where she can get flanked and taken out. So Symmetra is very important to stay alive for a long time so she can get her teleporter out, and we'll see if they can manage to do that. There's double Zen on attack, double Zen, double Genji, which is very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and take
so we have the Zenji POV composition coming out here for maximum damage from Reunited to try and take the point as quickly as possible. Unfixed and Kruise are going to be on Genji's. Unfixed running around, doing all sorts at the moment, losing a little bit of health, so just pausing for a sec to go ahead and grab that back. But right now, Gringos are doing a good job of just standing on the point. They're not killing off Reunited, though, and TwoEasy just standing back, waiting for opportunities to snipe people up.
Unfixed also just very patient. Finally saw a moment where Reinhardt had his back turned and he went in with the you know, the 3-star combo and managed to take him out very quickly. Followed it up with a dash through Reaper, and suddenly there's no one left on the point for Gringos, and they are going to cap point A very swiftly. Once again, this is the competitive rule set, so no timers necessary. If Reunited finishes the map completely, they will win the map completely. If they do not, then we will go to a King of the Hill sudden death. We have not needed to see that just yet. Reunited has been cruising along pretty well here, and they are setting up a Torbjorn on the payload as we speak.
Yay! I'm so happy right now, Joshy. That's my favorite play.
There is a Torb on the payload. There's 2 Genjis basically to flank and, you know, help him out. There's no one actually pushing the payload right now. Turret itself won't do it, so Vallutaja needs to back up. There he does. And Morte also staying very close to the payload. There's a Tracer on defense that could come in here and try to make life difficult, but against essentially a Torb, a turret, and a Zenyatta able to just make her into a pin cushion, it can be very difficult for her to actually defend this herself.
Now, I'm taking a look at Liddano right now because we have got the teleporter ready. I'm wondering where they think a decent place to put it is. Bear in mind, there are no Tracers being attacked on the attacking team right now, so it's less likely that they'll take out a teleporter very quickly. So I'm liking this decision here. Good placement of the teleporter.
The teleporter got refunded immediately because they hit the checkpoint.
Oh, come on. There we go. That's actually going to be really annoying if you just put it down as well, but at least it's there now, and it's going to be a little more difficult for Reunited to get rid of it, but they only have 1 checkpoint to go, and if you take a look at the positions of the 2 teams, Gringos are kind of on top of Reunited, but they're not contesting the payload, and it's moving. Every single second they wait to engage here is a second closer to victory for Reunited.
That's true, and Vallutaja still on Torb, still pushing along. There's 3 Symmetra turrets for the offense on the payload itself, so it's basically like a moving fortress right now. Tracers trying to get in there are not going to be able to really do much. They need to think about the Swapperino onto Genji or Reaper or something like that that can actually stay next to that payload. Molten Core coming out from Vallutaja actually makes that turret unkillable for a short time for Tracers. There's a pulse bomb being dropped on it. Still just barely takes it out. Vallutaja still standing. Liddano coming in there with the Tracer Void Ray, but Unfixed on Genji slices right through her. There goes Lucio down very quickly as well, and Johanneberg, being the last member for Gringos, falls, and that's it. Reunited sets a very, very quick time, and now they're going to lead the series 2-0.
Missile turret beats Void Ray, and we have the play of the game coming up now, and it is going to be Vallutaja on Torb. Let's go ahead and enjoy the basically 1A to victory from this turret.
Yeah, I think the problem was the area that you pointed out where they were kind of all above the enemy rather than shooting at them. That was a lot of time wasted.